If you've not seen the previous episode or even the episodes before that, please go back and watch them first because a lot of spoilers are coming your way. We are kicking off season number 2 with Stuttgart, and what better way to do just that than a summer break episode. Hey guys, my name is Jochen aka Leyodemus and welcome to part 10, season 2 baby, of Stuttgart über alles. In this FM21 series, I try to transform VFB Stuttgart in the German Bundesliga from a newly promoted club into a European giant. If you are new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet and you like what you see, feel free to hit that like button for me on the video and subscribe to my channel. Swap on the notification button if you don't want to miss a single video. First of all, I am using a new skin. I thought new season, new skin, why the heck not? This is the TCS21 skin that I will be using from now on. I've downloaded this for free on fmscout.com, an awesome website where you can download a lot of things, not only skins, but a lot of things, for pretty much every edition of Football Manager. Go check it out now, thank me later. And then of course to the order of the day. Oh, one little announcement. My game crashed after I recorded last episode. So I had to redo the game against Bielefeld. Let me quickly show you what happened there. Yep, here we go. I had to replay that game, so we drew in the last episode. In the original game, I've lost, of course, 1-0 at home. When I had to replay it, but that pretty much didn't change a single thing. We still finished in 7th position in the league, we still qualified for the Euro Cup 2, and we still had the same awesome budgets. Speaking of which, if you remember it from the last episode, we got a wage budget of 5 million guacamoles per month. Now, we are not using that at all, and we're not gonna use it. I don't think we'll probably be using that in the next 2 or 3 seasons even. So I could use the little old slider to give us a little more transfer budget. I did just that, and like you saw in the last episode, the result was a transfer budget of 56 million freaking pounds. As you can see, I already spent some of it, more on that in a second of course, but now we still have a wage budget of 3.3 million pounds a month. We are currently spending 2.6, so we have some room to wiggle, and that is how I could slide it even more, so that we have even more transfer budget. But I really like to do it like this, that we have a healthy margin in which we are above our wage budget, because that is a very important requirement. As you can see right here, work within the wage budget is the one ongoing thing in the 5-year plan the board has set out for us. The club culture, of course, I know I showed you this last time, but I'm going to quickly go over it because we are starting a new season. Let's start it properly. Sign players under the age of 23. As you can see, at the end of last season, they were quite disappointed, and as they should be, because I don't think I signed a single one. Maybe Brumado? I'm not sure. But by now, they are delighted. Once again, stay tuned. More on the transfers in a minute. Let's just go quickly over this one first. End of current season, I thought, to be honest, that they would alter their initial expectations because, as we saw last episode, it was quite ridiculous. We finished 7th in the league and they still wanted us to avoid or to not get relegated even. I think they altered it, but it's still, they want us to avoid a relegation battle. So I'm not really sure what to make of this, even with the players that I brought in. And I can assure you, there are at least 2 or 3, if not current, potential superstars. Watch me go over them in a minute. But still, avoid a relegation battle. Okay, don't mind if I try. Same thing goes for the cup. We have the same requirement as last year, and that is reach the 3rd round. Euro Cup 2, be competitive. That is like such a generic thing to say. Let's see what it says here. The minimum expectation is that the team attempt to be competitive in the Euro Cup too. Is that like at least win one game? I don't know. Now, when I started the off-season, because we are already on July 1st now, when I started the off-season, I didn't really have, apart from the left wing-back position, I didn't really have a position that I needed or wanted to strengthen. I think I just went for every good or really good player that I could find who was affordable and that really suited the system that I'm playing or I'm going to play. More on that later. I have designed a new tactic. Yes, sir. But that's really how I based my decisions on which players to sign and who not to sign. I brought in a bunch, and these are two I'm still negotiating with, as you can see. These are two left wing backs. Of course, me being me, I signed everything apart from a left wing back. So, sue me. Gianluca Iter, he is now at Freiburg. He's a pretty decent left wing back. Don't get me wrong, Borna Sosa will without any doubt be our starting left wing back. But this guy can be a pretty decent backup. If he joins, I am also going to have a third left wing back brought in, probably through loan, because I don't really, at least I think so, have like a huge talent in my under 19s or whatever that I can put as a third tier left wing back. So we'll deal with that later. This is also a left wing back, Johannes Horn. I think they are both willing to join us, to be honest. I still have to choose who I'm gonna pick. Although, let's see. Johannes Horn, I offered a contract of £90,000 a month. And Ita, who I think is the better player, maybe even, 55,500 a month. So I'm not sure who I'm going to pick, if of course they are both willing to come, but I think they are. But now, of course, the moment we have all been waiting for. The transfers that I brought in. Maybe first have a quick talk about the players who went out. Most of them, their contract simply ran out and I didn't renew it. Two are most notable, Castro and Badstuber. Two of our veteran players. Castro was even our captain. I didn't even realize that. He basically never started a game, or at least he didn't start many games, but he was on paper still our captain. So our captain is gone, Castro, and also veteran player in the defense, Badstuber, he's also gone. With them alone being gone, I had an extra £500,000 wage budget available, which of course is pretty nice. Besides them, there are of course other guys who have been leaving us in the summer, yesterday to be precise, but those are by far the two most notable players. Now, let's see who I brought in to replace them. And I know I showed you two already, even one is not on the list. Let's start with him, shall we? Because we do have a few future transfers. This guy, Renier, he will be here in 11 days from now, since he's Brazilian and that season ends later and whatnot. He will be joining us on not a free transfer, almost £1 million I paid for him, coming from Santos in Brazil. This guy, I know he is a winger. As I told you in the last episode, I am going to retrain him as a number 10, probably as a shadow striker or an advanced playmaker, because he already has some decent attributes for that position, man. Dribbling 15, first touch 14, technique 14, and I mean, he's not the tallest, but he has a very good jumping reach, especially for a winger. And he's of course not the slowest on the pitch. His acceleration is 15, pace 14. Good stuff. He is only 17 years old. He's Brazilian, as I mentioned. And yeah, I don't know if he is going to get that much playing time, to be honest, because of course we have quite some talent in established players or players who just came in at the number 10 position, and we are not using wing players. So we'll see about that, but I am for one very excited to have this guy at the club. Like I said in the last episode, I have never had him in my team in any football manager. I've seen other creators have him on their team, and he's nailing it as far as I have seen. So really excited for this guy to come in within less than 2 weeks. Then we have two very young players who I discovered by simply scouting a lot of youth intake players around the world. First one coming in from Romanian side Cluj for 675k. Alexandru Niaxu, I think. 15 years old, 1.5 star current ability, also a possible 5-star potential ability. The thing that drew me to him, the one and only thing, really, he is 15 years old and he has a technique of 18. That is so high, man, it's insane. And it even blinded me, it kind of gave me tunnel vision, because it totally blinded me from his determination of 2 and his unambitious personality. So, yeah, but still, an 18 on technique is so high in any football manager, I had to sign him. Second guy is quite a similar story. Lazar Jeremy comes in from Radniki, I think that is in Serbia, yep, for almost 500k. He will only be joining us in 2 years from now, but it doesn't matter because he is 16 now, so he will be 18, which is awesome when he joins us. He is also a midfielder, can play as a Mazzala, can pretty much play as everything at this point. He will develop himself by the time that he gets to us, so I don't know what the actual thing was that attracted me to him, to be honest. Determination 14, that's quite okay. Stamina 14, probably that was the thing. And first touch also 14. He has a 1.5 star current ability and also, no, not a 5 star, a 4.5 star possible potential ability. But enough with the future talk, let's get down to business and let's go over this list, shall we? First up, Nesta Zahui comes in for free from Paris Saint-Germain. He is a 18-year-old attacking midfielder, 2-star current ability, a possible 5-star potential ability. You can see the silver lining in the players that I'm bringing in. A very high potential ability. Can play as an attacking midfielder, which is awesome. Dribbling 16, vision 15, you name it. Let's get him to support. Let's have a look at those attributes. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. First touch 13, he is only 18 years old, and with the first name of Nesta, that's a no-brainer in my book. Second guy on the list I showed you in the last episode, Viktor Kovalenko, comes in for free from Shakhtar Donetsk. 25-year-old Ukrainian international, I said it right. Can play as an MC or a number 10. Pretty decent stats. He has like 2 stats less than 10, which is long throws, who cares, and marking. And he's a pretty decent player in general. Acceleration 15, stamina 15, which is awesome for a central midfielder. Current ability of 3.5 stars and a potential ability of 4 stars. He is basically the replacement for Castro, who is leaving us. But that being said, I now realize there are a lot of spoilers on the screen. Doesn't really matter, you've seen it in the list. Whoosh. Pay attention, Jochen. But he is going to be the replacement for Castro, and he probably at this point will be our best attacking midfielder. We'll have a look at that later, but he is, let me summarize, he is better than I expected him to be honest, so good on me. Third on the list, coming in from Atletico Bilbao C, Adrian Perez. He is 19 years old. He is a central defender. He's quite tall, 6'4", 1.5 star current ability, possible 4-star potential ability. What drew me to him was tackling 16 and determination 15 and jumping reach 16. Normally, if you have tall guys like this, they tend to have a lower jumping reach because they're simply taller guys and have more trouble jumping than a small dude. But this guy has a 16 on jumping reach and also a heading of 11, which is good. Marking 11, also good. Can play as a ball-playing defender, which I also use, and as a normal central defender. So, Welcome, Adrian. Next guy is Ron Schallenberg, and this was a total panic signing, I think in January, February, I'm not sure. Don't get me wrong, he's a decent player, but probably I signed him as a squad player. Luckily, thank God I didn't promise him playing time as a regular starter or whatever, because that would have been a big fat lie, wouldn't it? Now he has a 3-star current ability, a 4-star potential ability, and he is a natural DM, which I have not used so far, but stay tuned. But he can of course also play as an MC or as a center back, so good on you, Ron, and welcome. Another youngster coming in for free from Santos Laguna, I think in Mexico, yep, is Santiago Munoz. He is 18 years old, he's Mexican, 2-star current ability, a 4.5-star possible potential ability, and I mean, he is quite a decent striker, man. Like I said, he's only 18. I did sign him as a breakthrough prospect, but he is quite fast, pace 15, technique 12, which is good for a striker, heading 15, awesome sauce. I am expecting a lot from this young man, to be honest. I will stack him at the under-19 squad, or maybe even loan him out since he is 18 years old. We'll see what we do with him, but this is definitely one for the future. And so we have arrived at the absolute, by several miles, star signing of the summer. My man, Sandro Tonali, is joining us at Stuttgart. If you don't know who Sandro Tonali is, shame, shame, shame. This guy, I'm not even talking about Football Manager. In real life, I promise you that this guy within 3 years, 5 years tops, is going to be one of the best central midfielders on the entire planet. Mark my words and tell me I'm wrong. He is a 21-year-old Italian international, 4-star current ability, it's not even a possible 5-star, it's a most definite 5-star potential ability, trust me. He is a DM and also a natural MC, so he can play as a deep-lying playmaker, check. Mezzala, he can pretty much play as every role in both those positions. So, what? I don't remember how much I paid for him though. 12.5 million, which is literally insane. Of course, I gave him a star player contract because he is the best player at the club at this point. But look at these attributes, man. First touch 16. I don't even know where to start. Technique 17, passing 16, work rate 17. This guy is insane, and it really baffles me that I have been able to sign him at Stuttgart, to be honest, because I thought even that Milan had actually signed him. But apparently that was not the case. He was there on loan from Brescia, so we were able to sign him. I'm still a little bit flabbergasted at how I did it, but he is here. And I had to put in, let me tell you that, I had to put in a minimum fee release clause, of course. Can I see that here? Yes. Of 59 million. That was the maximum I could choose there. I don't really mind, because if clubs in the Champions League, by the way, only for clubs in the Champions League is this minimum fee release clause. If we should sell him for that money, I can probably, with that money, sign someone equally as good on that position. So, or, for me, that's the best case scenario. By then, we give him a new contract without a minimum fee release clause, and you're looking at our future captain. Fingers crossed. Next guy on the list, I think as far as transfer fee goes, our second biggest signing of the summer. So far, we still have some money left. No promises though. Comes in for 10.5 million from Sampdoria in Italy. Julien Chabot. Chabot sounds French, but he is a German under-21 international. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He is a tall dude. Central defender, can also play as a ball-playing defender. Awesome. Heading 15, tackling 15, jumping reach 17, strength 16. This is the stereotype of defender that I want in my team in Football Manager. And I mean in every team. I want my defense to be physical beasts so we can literally form an air force that goes forward with each corner and free kick that we get, but also who can stop opposing strikers. I think we have more than found our replacement for veteran Badstuber. Next up on the list are two youngsters. The first one coming in from Lokomotiva, probably in Russia. Oh no, in Croatia. It's Lokomotiva Zagreb. For 425k, Josip Vručina. He is already, of course, in my under-19 squad. He is 16 years old, 1.5-star current ability, once again a possible 5-star potential ability, and he is a striker. And what drew me to him, because this is, of course, another guy that I found by scouting a lot of youth intake players around the world. Technique 15, composure 15, and determination 15. That for a 16-year-old, awesome sauce. I expect a lot from this guy. He is maybe not the same type of striker that we have now at the club, but I mean, we can always use a poacher, can't we? Next up on the list, a goalkeeper, the only goalkeeper I brought in, coming in from Nancy in France for 325k, Robert Lebron. He is, like I mentioned, a 16-year-old goalkeeper, 1.5-star current ability and 4.5-star possible potential ability. What drew me to him? Two stats actually. Natural fitness 16, handling 16. We're done here. And then we have reached a guy that I think, besides Tonali, is the one that I am most excited about. Comes in for £5 million from Malmö in Sweden. Anel Ahmethosic. Anel Ahmethosic. Wow, say that 20 times. He's a central defender. He's 22 years old. He is a Bosnian and Herzegovian international. Current ability 4 stars. Potential ability 4.5 stars. I mean, once again, a tall guy, just like, I've already forgotten his name, Shabot? Alright, Shabot and Ahmethosic. Got it. Just like Shabot, he is a tall guy, he has a good heading stat, good jumping reach. Strength is a little bit less than Shabot, but we'll work on that. Ball-playing defender, 4 stars. He is, without any doubt, going to be, I also signed him as a star player, but he is going to be a starter, especially in our new tactic. And last but certainly not least, coming in from River Plate de Montevideo in Uruguay for 1.5 million, which is insanely low for this guy, Matias Arezzo. He is, in fact, one of the best young strikers in the whole of Football Manager. I signed him as a regular starter because that is exactly what he is going to be. He's 18 years old, from Uruguay. He's a striker. 3-star current ability, a possible 5-star, here we go again, potential ability. And I mean, he is basically a wonder kid. Come on, look at these stats, man. Heading 16, finishing 14, technique 15, determination 20. I mean, come on, he's quite fast too. Acceleration 15. I know we had Nicolas Gonzalez as our main top goal scorer, but I think this guy is going to take over pretty soon. And for 1.5 million, it would almost be a crime not to do this. I did sign him last year on FM20 in my Iberian Sun save at Lusitania La Rosa in Portugal. But that same summer I went to Porto to manage them, so I have never seen him actually play. That is why I really didn't mind signing this guy again. So I will see him play this time, I can guarantee you that. So guys, that was pretty much all I wanted to show you about transfers going on. Like I said, I'm still working on the left wing back position. Since we have some money left, I might do another signing, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to play on. I'll explain why in a minute. Let's first have a look at a new thing that I have created. Since it was pretty obvious last season that we did awesome with our counterattacking system against big teams, I think we literally won half of those games against Bayern Munich, Wolfsburg, Dortmund, you name it, by using this system and by counterattacking the hell out of the big boys. But we did awful against lower positioned teams. So against teams that are supposed to be weaker than us, we couldn't make anything happen, even if we used this system and turned to attacking, for example. I mean, you even saw it in the last game against Bielefeld. Abysmal. So I simply had to create a new tactic that we can use against those teams. And the result is the 4-4-2 diamond positive possession system. I know it says Gegenpress because that was my starting point, but it's basically a possession-based system. I will show you why in a minute. I think it's pretty obvious. We have the diamond in midfield. We are still not using any wingers. The main difference maybe is that we have switched our libero, who is still here in our counter-attacking system. I have switched him to a halfback. Of course, the main thing I also changed was the individual instructions for all the positions. We'll get to that in a minute. But the general idea is we have a defensive triangle at the back with two wingbacks not on attacking but on supportive duties. If we are seeing the same thing we saw, I think I used a quite similar tactic in the very beginning of the first season, and then everyone was complaining that this tactic exposes our team at the back. We might get the same thing, but we will deal with that when it arrives. Now, like I said, we have a defensive triangle. We have then a supporting triangle of a Mezzala, a deep-lying playmaker, and an attacking midfielder. And of course, we have our attacking force of a power forward, I'm playing NBA again, a pressing forward, and a poacher. I think now you know why I've put a poacher here, because we signed a little guy named Matthias Arezzo. Let's go over the individual instructions for each position. For the wingback, I have pretty much done the same thing as I did for my wingbacks in the counterattack system. I want them to get those crosses in, cross more often, cross from deep, and cross aim at center, because there will be a lot of peeps in the center of the pitch, hopefully. Run wide with the ball and get further forward. I hope I have done the same thing for the right wing back, yes. Then our ball-playing defender, he is on dribble less, shoot less often, mark tighter, take more risks and hold position, but those are automatically filled when you choose a ball-playing defender. I could switch this, though, to a covering role. I am going to do it like this. I'm already making changes. Awesome. That was it for the ball-playing defender. The central defender, take fewer risks and mark tighter. And automatically there, shoot less often, dribble less, and hold position. For our defensive midfielder, and this is maybe a position where I am going to tweak things a little bit as we go along. But for now, he is on a halfback role with a defensive duty, or defend duty. Take fewer risks, shoot less often, tackle harder, and mark tighter. I think it is pretty obvious what I want this guy to do. Butcher people. And I don't mean that literally, but I really want this guy to steal the ball and to basically not dribble, not make complicated pass attempts, simply give short passes to R, that's getting us to the next position, deep-lying playmaker. This, without any doubt, will be, unless he's injured or suspended, Mr. Sandro Tonali himself. I've set him on dribble more, mark tighter, because he is still I didn't put him in a defensive role, but I do want him out of these two to do the more somewhat defensive work in the center of midfield. So I did put him on mark tighter. Shoot less often, take more risks, and hold position are automatically there. Next to him, Mezzala in a supporting role, pass shorter. Once again, I don't want him to give the advanced passes, simply pass it to or forward or to Sandro Tonali. That's all I'm asking. Pass it shorter, take more risks, dribble more, shoot more often, And automatically there, get further forward, stay wider, move into channels and roam from position. In front of them we have an attacking midfielder, and I could switch this to a enganche, I think, I have no idea, or a trequartista. But for now I'm going to leave him on attacking midfielder in a supporting duty. We'll see how it goes. He is on pass it shorter, take more risks, shoot more often, roam from position. I also had that here though. Should I keep him? Should I keep him on? I'm going to keep it like this. We'll see. I have a lot of friendlies to play, so I have time to analyze this first draft of my new tactic. And we can always tweak as we go along. So, where was I? Roam from position, move into channels, and ease off tackles. I think I've said that for all my attacking trio, to be honest, because that's simply not their duty. They have to ease off tackles, although pressing forwards are automatically on tackle harder, so I can't change it. But for these two guys, I have put that on ease off tackles. That brings us to the first of our two strikers, our pressing forward, which will probably always be Nicolas Gonzalez or Silas Wamangituka. Gonzalez played in that role last year and he scored 25 goals, so something must be right. He is on pass it shorter, take fewer risks, dribble more, shoot more often, and automatically on get further forward, move into channels, close down more because he is a pressing forward, duh, and tackle harder. The last guy on the pitch in our new system is a poacher. That's pretty simple. He just has to score goals. That's it. Shoot more often, dribble less even, take fewer risks, get further forward. Just bang in those goals. That's all I'm asking you. This is without any doubt going to be Arezzo, or I think, who can also play as a poacher. Ooh, even Kovalenko can play as a poacher. So we have Wamangituka, Gonzalez, and Arezzo. Gonzalez is probably going to be our main pressing forward. So Wamangituka and Arezzo are probably going to divide duties in the poacher position. Now, if we have a look at our team report, and let's just immediately choose it's already there, our new formation, we can see if there are some positions that still need strengthening. I'm not sure, but let's look at it together. Let's start with the strikers. We have two strikers in our tactic. I think Kovalenko is equally good as a striker as Gonzalez, but I'm not going to play him there. This will probably be Gonzalez, Wamangituka, Arezzo, and Kalacic. We also have Junior Bramato still. I'm not sure, man. I think with Gonzalez and Arezzo, he will only get better and better. Even Gonzalez, because he is still only 23. So the future in striker position is looking quite bright, to be honest. Wamangituka is only 21, so same story. I think we are set here and we certainly don't need extra guys in that position. For the number 10 position, we have Kovalenko, new guy coming in. He is the best number 10 that we have, with Mongala, Didavi, and Wilshire in close pursuit. So also there, I think Mongala is more of a center of midfield player or even a defensive midfielder. So let's take him out of there. Let's also get Kovalenko out of this equation. So we have Kovalenko, Didavi, Wilshire, Clement, and Foster, who are they are not regular players and they're not bad, don't get me wrong, but I didn't play them. They were loaned out last year, both of them, and I'm not planning on playing them again this year. So let's just see where it leads us. Kalajic is a midfielder. Klimovic, where is he? Breakthrough prospect, 20 years old, decent potential. I also loaned him out last year. He is wanted again for loan. We'll see. I don't think I need to bring another player in for this position. Probably it will be Didavi or Wilshire playing here because Kovalenko will play in the midfield along with Tonali and or Mongala. Probably I'm going to... I think I'm going to get Mongala in the defensive midfielder position. Because we all saw last year he played the ball-winning midfielder in the center of midfield. So he can do, in fact, a ball-winning role. So I will probably put him in the halfback position. Speaking of which... Anton, he is a central defender. Schallenberg, the new guy, and Mola can also play in a defensive midfielder role. If I find someone who is not too expensive and who I consider to be a lot better than the guys we already have, I might sign an extra central midfielder in the DM position. That's what I mean. We'll see. Defense-wise, we are more than set in center. We have new guy Ametozic and Chabot, of course. But we also already had Anton, Mola, Awuja. We have a lot of central defenders, man. Let's sort by current ability. So we have Anton, Kempf, Karazor, Awuja, Mola, Endo, who are already here. Schallenberg is a new guy. And of course, these two top ones are also new. So we are more than set in the center of defense. The wingback position is a different story, not on the right side, because there we of course have Pablo Maffeo, who came back of loan. He will be our starting right wingback without any doubt, because he is quite a decent player. Only 23 years old, star player, so it's either play him or sell him. It's simple, and I'm gonna play him. We have Wamangituka must be out of here. We have Stenzel as a backup and Massimo as our third tier, maybe our second tier. I'm not sure yet. Right wing back. On the left side, however, we only have Borna Sosa because Anton, he is in the center of defense, I think, or even as a defensive midfielder. Mola also out of here. Let's get them out of here. As you can see, we basically have no backup for Borna Sosa. Our second in line is this guy, Tommy. He is a regular starter. He didn't play much last season. I am really surprised that he didn't complain more, to be honest. Because I simply can't use him. He can play in our counter-attacking system at the left wing-back position, but he is right-footed, and that is the last thing that I want in that position. So I simply can't use him. He is only 26. He is a very decent player, so he is the one guy I am planning on selling in this very transfer window. Lucky me, because he is wanted by Mainz and Wolfsburg, so I might be able to sell him before summer's gone. So like I already said, guys, the left wing-back position, I am negotiating with two guys, and we will have some backup there before we play our first game. In the goalkeeper position, we of course have our rock and goal, the goalkeeper of the year in our first season, Gregor Kobel. Now, he is playing as a sweeper keeper, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential. I mean, without question, this will be our starting goalkeeper for probably a couple more seasons. I didn't get an extra backup except for the very young guy Lebron. But he's only 16, he can't even play in the Bundesliga yet. So we'll let him ripe in our under-19s and hopefully, by the time Kobel A wants to leave himself, B, we do decide he is not good enough anymore. Hopefully at that time Lebron has improved that much that he can take over goalkeeping duties from Kobel. So that was pretty much all I wanted to show you guys in this summer break episode. I didn't play on, it is still July 1st, but that has a reason. That reason is, next weekend we will have 2 more episodes of Stuttgart über alles, but in the Saturday episode, I am going to fully focus on how I tackle everything concerning my training. So team training, individual training, training groups, mentoring, you name it. Because this is an ideal time since I brought in a couple of very young new guys at the club. I want to show you how I always try and optimize their development by setting their individual training, putting them in the right groups with the right mentoring. All those things I will cover in Saturday's episode. On Sunday, by the time I record Sunday's episode, I will have played through the whole of the preseason, and on Sunday we will play our first game. Let's just quickly have a look. So I have arranged some friendlies, but we will probably play our first game of the second season. You know what? Why not start? Should I start with the Europa Cup game? I'll keep it as a surprise. I might start with the Cup game. I might start with the game against Augsburg. Or I might just jump into the second game in our fourth qualifying round of the Euro Cup 2. Who knows? Stay tuned. So guys, that was it for this episode. I really want to thank you for still being here, because I know we didn't play a game, and that sometimes makes an episode less interesting and boring and whatnot, I know. But I promise you, the summer break episodes will be the only episodes where that will happen. So with that being said, I still hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave me a big thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel so we can keep doing this thing together. If you whack on the notification button, you will be the first to know when a new episode drops. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.